Alright, what's up everybody? It's Sammy33. I've been wanting to do one of these for a while. I kept wanting to jump in, couldn't find the right time as far as life and actually being able to watch wrestling at a, you know, we'll just say realistic clip. So I figured what better way to get started than to talk about the official kickoff to the on our road to WrestleMania. WrestleMania Tampa this year. I wish I could go. There's too much stuff going on in life, so I'll have to take a pass on this one. But I wanted to take the time, now that I have the full weekend off, I wanted to take the time to give my predictions on what I think will happen and what I would like to happen for the Royal Rumble. And then we'll have our reactions, give us some time to settle in. I'll be watching it live, probably talk about it on stream, but I'll put a video up a little bit later. I just want to have time to watch the matches, really, let stuff sink in and jump in. But for now, go ahead and get started. I plan on actually doing this at least for every pay-per-view. NXT will work our way in. Um, Worlds Collide, I'll probably address that at a later time. I haven't been able to watch all of it. That's okay. I just really wanted to take more time to kind of focus on the big show. Okay. We'll cycle back to NXT in a bit. It's been a pretty exciting year so far in 2020. That said, let's talk about the Rumble. So first things first. We've got some interesting title matches. I'll actually kick off with start with the women's. And the SmackDown side, you've got Bayley defending against Lacey Evans. So it's been talked about some on stream. I'm a huge fan of Lacey Evans. I am kind of surprised that they've had this turn to try to make her a face now. I'm not necessarily sure it fits in with the character, but with a lot of things when it comes to wrestling and characters, storylines, I'm willing to just, as a fan, just sit back and watch. Like, some things I'm going to like, some things I'm not going to like, but that's okay. Let's sit back. Let's let everything play out and see how it goes. Um, I'm not really sure how this match ends. I feel that Bayley wins the match. I think she should win the match. Build her, give her more credibility as a SmackDown champ, especially now that they've had her turn heel. I feel like she's maybe not entitled to a long run, at least carry the belt into WrestleMania, and then we'll see what they do with her then. Whether it's Sasha interfering, whether it's Bayley winning dirty, I feel at the end Bayley is going to end up winning this match. What I do want to see though, Lacey has improved in the ring. I'm not going to say that I was critical of it in the beginning, but you could tell in some of the earlier matches when she got called up and when she was on the main roster, some of the matches looked a little bit sloppy. I like her moveset. I like the way she carries herself around the ring, but the matches just don't have that. Like, they don't feel natural just yet. They still feel kind of disjointed. Improvement is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to watch the match. I hope that she has a good showing, but at the end, I'm going to say that Bayley walks out with the title, whether hook or by crook. Looking at the other side, got the Raw Women's Championship. This is an interesting one for me because I was at the Royal Rumble last year in Phoenix, and I saw her, as in Becky, drop the belt to Asuka. Um, at the time, it kind of sucked, but because it was the first match of the night, you also kind of figured Becky's going to get a shot to be in the Rumble. And then we saw what happened, and you have the man. It kicks off there, and there we go. We just skyrocketed to the moon. And she has carried her momentum pretty well. Been a few trap spots, but for the most part, I feel like she's had a really good title run. She's done a great job carrying the belt and being the face of not only the women's division, but one of the popular faces in the company itself. This match against Asuka will be really interesting. I love Asuka's work. I've talked about this a lot in stream. Love Asuka. I was not a big fan of her dropping the belt to Charlotte because it felt just totally out the blue. She beats Becky for the title. Good match. I believe she didn't have a title defense at the next pay-per-view, and then just randomly on SmackDown, when it looked like they were going to have a number one contenders match of who she was going to face at Mania, she just has a one-on-one title defense against Charlotte and drops the belt. Charlotte's new champ, and we know what happened from there going to the WrestleMania main event. A lot of and then even going there, the Royal Rumble, the Battle Royale, she gets eliminated there too. It felt like she lost a lot of steam. Her and Kairi Sane have made excellent tag team champions, and it was nice to see her get some of her momentum back. They have good chemistry in the ring. I've liked the matches that they've had in the past. Again, with this, I feel like you building, if Becky's going to drop the belt, we'll circle back to the Women's Royal Rumble here we'll circle back to this title in regards to Women's Royal Rumble. But I feel that Becky's not dropping the belt unless it's at Mania, or at least carrying the belt into Mania. So it's kind of an awkward storyline because Becky has done so much since she's been the champion on Raw, having the SmackDown title too before she dropped that. It's hard to look back and say, man, this match against Asuka, like it's really, really eating her up that she never beat her because she's had such a great run. But hey, it works. They'll have good chemistry in the ring. They'll have a good match. Again, I think maybe there's interference by Kyrie to help out her tag team partner, but in the end, Becky is going to remain Raw Women's Champion. And then we'll talk about the Women's Royal Rumble. So that's two. Mid-card titles. Let me actually look here. Because I believe the Intercontinental is not being defended. The U.S. is being defended. Andrade and Humberto. Some may not remember Humberto during the gauntlet match that gave Andrade the number one contendership to face Ray, which he won. I believe it was a DDT on the concrete that put him out. And that opened the door, of course, for Andrade to go have excellent matches with Ray, as he has since Ray's been back. Their chemistry in the ring is so good, almost so good that I would say I'm totally cool with them having, regardless of how we have to come back to this point, of having a title match at WrestleMania to really showcase, the big stage, the stage of the Immortals. To have those two put on a match there would be awesome, given enough time. Andrade has to win this match, in my opinion. I love Humberto. The fans love him too. I feel he's an up-and-comer, but Andrade, he just has that magic about him. He works well with anyone in the ring, and then obviously having Selena on the side, she's always going to get involved in the match. Andrade's building that momentum going into the next pay-per-view. Won't say WrestleMania just yet, but just building momentum going into the next pay-per-view. In the future, yes, but right now, not just yet. Andrade is as it has been in most of his matches. Selena will have a part to play in the match, but in the end, Andrade is going to win, whether by hook or by crook. Big fan of his. Then we have the filler match. It'll be somewhere in the middle of the card, Shorty G and Sheamus. Sheamus is going to destroy him. I like Shorty G. Gable is great. Been a big fan of his for a long time, but Sheamus, he's coming back. They're going to build him to be strong. I don't think he is officially in the Rumble. Let me double check that. Don't see the confirmed list that I have. He's not on there, so I don't know if he's going to be, but I expect Sheamus this is going to be a squash match. Build Sheamus to be strong. I don't believe he's won the Intercontinental title. I think he's been US. I don't think he's won Intercontinental. So eventually, at some point, I think he'll start moving towards that title. It's the only one that he hasn't earned or won. But he's going to destroy him. A good showing for Sheamus, and start to kind of get him back in the mix going into the build to WrestleMania. The other non-title match, King Corbin against Roman Reigns. Now, I will admit I'm not a huge Roman Reigns fan. I also am not a huge Corbin fan, but Corbin is playing a great heel. This has been one of the few rivalries where I felt going in this is going to be really boring for me. It just doesn't interest me. I don't like Reigns, not in a bad way, but I'm just eventually I know he's going to be built up to be the face of SmackDown. It's coming. But this is a distraction, so it kind of helps. It makes me like him a little bit more, like the Usos, so it helps, with the six-man tag match that they had and their involvement in this rivalry. I don't know if there's going to be interference in this match, but at the end of the day, Reigns, I think this feud is going to end here at the Royal Rumble, and I think Reigns will go over. Bigger plans for Reigns in the future, we'll get to that. but Corbin will have a good showing. With it being a Falls Count Anywhere match, I'm almost willing to say at some point, with it being in Minute Maid, that there's going to be a trash can sighting. Someone will do it. Someone will, whether it's putting the trash can on Corbin and banging on a trash can, it should be the other way around since Corbin's the heel, playing it up. But we'll see. I would love for like just a moment that would be cool and definitely get the crowd riled up as only a heel could do. Corbin putting on a Bregman jersey or Altuve jersey, putting the trash can over him, and like taking a kendo stick and hitting the trash can, banging the trash can, would be a perfect moment. But I don't think the WWE will do that. I think too soon. Still a little too soon. So that takes care of those. Then there is one heavyweight title being defended, and that is going to be the Fiend and Daniel Bryan. It being a strap match, I'm curious to see what they do with it, but at the end, as much as I love Daniel Bryan, and he'll give the Fiend a good match, him and Bray will put on a good match. At the end, the Fiend is going to go over. I just don't see, even with it being, no rules, with it being a strap match, I'm still not seeing how Daniel's going to be able to win this match. The Fiend has been built to be this extremely strong character. Nothing gets to him. It's hard to, not only is it hard to inflict damage as far as, to keep him down for 3 count, just any damage in general. He's, been built up as a super Undertaker, mythical like character that just can't be hurt. Outside stuff will come into play. Like I said, Daniel will put on a good match, but at the end, it's going to be a slow pace match with the Fiend walking out retaining the championship, the Universal Championship. This brings us to the Royal Rumble matches. So 2 left. There may be some other matches there, maybe some kickoff matches. I'm not going to address those. I'm just addressing the officially confirmed matches for tomorrow's pay-per-view. So first up, we have the women's pay-per-view. So I'm going to read off the confirmed list. We have 8 confirmed entrants: Charlotte, Alexa, Nikki, Natalya, Sarah Logan, Mandy Rose, Carmella, and Dana Brooke, which leaves 22 extra spots. Expect to see NXT stars. I would expect to see Bianca, Io Shirai. Kyrie's not listed, but I expect her to be there. I'm not going to go off of potential surprise entrance because I don't want to ruin anything. I don't want to guess. I'm just going in tunnel vision. I haven't looked at any dirt sheets or anything like that. But one I will say, as far as confirmed like people that are on the roster, one I will say that interests me is Shayna. Shayna, I feel like is eventually going to move up. I know they look at it as a lateral movement between the 3 brands, but I look at her being in this match, maybe a late entrant in this match, and I expect her not only to have a good showing, I really think that she's going to win the Royal Rumble, setting up a match with Becky and Shayna. I do also expect someone else to show up that hasn't been around for a while. Someone brought it up in chat last week or earlier this week, and it really got me thinking. Nia Jax hasn't been around for a while. So I've been kind of keeping tabs now the last couple of days on her recovery and all that's going on. A surprise entrant and one that would obviously do a lot of damage and potentially having her being back. Like I had mentioned that night, we never got a match between Nia and Becky. Seems like a perfect little mini feud to go in between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. But I'm kind of excited to see if now come back. And of course, we'll see, other, superstars. Maybe Candice LeRae, Canzaro, Mia Yim. Like, there's a plethora of women between the brands to choose from for sure. And then also, you can't ever rule out the facts of some legends possibly popping in with those spots. But my pick is Shayna. If Shayna were not to be in the Rumble and I had to pick someone from the confirmed list, I don't want to pick Charlotte. I feel like at some point she's going to win a Rumble. but I'm just not ready to see Charlotte win a Rumble just yet. Like, her and Becky would be a good match at WrestleMania. I just need a little bit of a break between Charlotte and Becky. I know it's been, for the most part, 10 months. I'm just not ready to go down that road just yet. And that brings us to the men. So we have the interesting, uh, I guess, plot line, storyline of Brock Lesnar being in the Rumble, but actually not defending the title. So one, it takes him out of defending the title. And two, it creates an opportunity for someone to possibly have a big moment from eliminating him, which I'll get to. But the other thing it does that I kind of do like, now I haven't really liked this idea, but I'm like, I'm going to sit back and watch and see what happens. But I like the idea that he potentially could be in the ring with mid-carders that would never, under any other circumstance, be in the ring with Lesnar. So it gives them the opportunity to have a moment with Brock. So I'm going to read that list. So again, it's not a title defense, which kind of sucks because I thought if he was defending the title, that would be a pretty cool way to get the belt off of him. But we have 26 confirmed entrants, at least 4 spots. Brock, Roman, Corbin, Ziggler, Eric Rowan, AJ, Orton, Elias, Ray, Ricochet, McIntyre, Otis Tucker, Rusev, Lashley. And they're going to be in the ring together at some point. It's going to happen. Alistair, Murphy, Strowman, Shinsuke, Rollins, Owens, Samoa Joe, Kingston, Big E, The Miz, and Morrison. So a couple of things. Brock's not winning this match. There's no way Brock is going to win this match. The key is who eliminates him. Because I feel whoever eliminates him is going to build a feud going into WrestleMania for them to have a match. I know the popular opinion is it's going to be Kane. And when I say Kane Velasquez. Building up to them having an actual match at WrestleMania, not what we had at the other pay-per-view earlier this year. Because it was like kind of short notice and it's something that they weren't fully prepared to do, they didn't fully invest in. It will get back to that. I think though that he's not going to win the match, but I do think that he is going to eliminate Brock. So then the question is what happens after? And this is something I've been torn with. To me, this seems like a perfect time to have McIntyre win because he gets to have a good showing in the Rumble. He's built up momentum so far starting out 2020, and he's going to walk in. He could win the Royal Rumble. He's got the size. He's got that imposing presence. It feels like when you have guys that go against Brock, you have to feel like that person has a chance to win. Even with Daniel Bryan at Survivor Series, you just never felt that. You knew he was great, but it's just the size difference was so big. Same with Balor at the Rumble last year. You just didn't feel like there was that real opportunity that it's possible this guy could beat Brock Lesnar. McIntyre has everything. He's got the size. He's got the presence about him. I like what they've done with him. I know. And if you even look at his draft status, when he got drafted to Raw, it's pretty early. So to me, that's kind of a visual sign of, hey, we're going to invest in him. Doesn't necessarily have to be a long title reign, but I think that McIntyre could be the guy to knock him off. That was my initial pick, and I think I'm still going to stick with it. The problem is, what happens if someone else were to eliminate Brock like a Kane? Then what happens? Does that build for a Kane-Brock match at, say, Elimination Chamber? Does that make it a potential triple threat match at WrestleMania? Like, I don't know. I personally would like to see Brock one-on-one with McIntyre. That would be my choice. The Elimination Chamber can decide who challenges Bray on the other side. If I had to pick someone from SmackDown, I'll give you guys 2 picks for each brand. So let me look at the list. I won't talk about potentially other people because, I mean, if Kane enters, that leaves 3 other spots. There are going to be some surprises, I'm sure. Obviously, as an Undertaker fan, I would love for The Undertaker to be in the Royal Rumble. But if The Undertaker was going to be in the Rumble, or at the Royal Rumble, I don't think he's going to be in the actual match. I think that The Undertaker may have something to do with Bray and Daniel Bryan post-match, just my opinion. And if that's the case, definitely someone from Raw wins the Royal Rumble. That's just me kind of like putting my own storyline out there. Bray's on this revenge tour. What better revenge could you have than him being able to get revenge against The Undertaker at WrestleMania? You get The Undertaker to come back, you lose. Then you have, I believe it was Hell in a Cell. You abduct The Undertaker, and then you end up losing to him at Survivor Series, and then that's it. What a better way to get revenge than having the victory over The Undertaker, best WrestleMania record in the company. That would be pretty big for him, but we're not going to go down that road just yet. Wait and see what happens. I'm thinking a little bit too far out. Given the list of SmackDown superstars that are confirmed, the only one I could see winning is Roman Reigns. The only one. And that's not a bad thing. Him and Bray would still be a good match. They've had good chemistry in the past. I'm not ready for Bray to drop the title yet, and that would concern me if Roman Reigns is going to be the winner of the Royal Rumble. The build from now all the way to the Rumble would be good with the Firefly Funhouse, but I just am not ready for Bray to possibly lose that title. Not yet. If I could pick another superstar from Raw, Drew's my pick. One I would like to see, honestly, would be Samoa Joe, but it's not going to happen. I do expect Owens and Joe to have some interaction with Rollins and Buddy Murphy during the Rumble. Potentially, maybe the AOP kind of having some sort of appearance to maybe help one of those guys get eliminated, help the Monday Night Messiah. Rollins, I don't think wins. I think Rollins is going to be taking a little bit of a step back, which is fine. He can be away from the title, and he can still be an important, very integral part to Monday Night Raw without having to be around the title picture for now. Um, Given the list of guys there, The Miz and Morrison, I think it might be a little bit too early for a turn. Obviously, Kofi will probably give us some crazy moment like he always does every year, but I'd expect some interaction between those guys, between the New Day and Miz and Morrison. Um, and obviously Lash and Russo, I was trying to avoid that. I actually had it highlighted on my laptop to talk about that. We all know they're going to have some sort of interaction. The feud is never going to end. It's never going to end. That reminds me, thinking of the women's side, Lana and Liv. All right, we're gonna stop. So to recap, for Raw, I've got Becky retaining the title, SmackDown Women's title. I have Bayley retaining. I also have I'm gonna have to look at the card again. I have everyone retaining. They're gonna both of the women retaining their titles. Bray retaining his against Daniel Bryan. Sheamus in a squash match over Shorty G. A brawl across the ballpark, but ultimately Roman Reigns getting the win and hopefully getting out of this feud now so we can start doing something else. Royal Rumble winners on the women's side. I have Shayna winning, but if she is not in, I kind of have to go with Charlotte just with the few that are confirmed because she's the only one big enough. Though I will say, if Shayna doesn't enter, I would not be bothered by Nia winning because basically you get the full circle with where Becky's momentum started as the man with Nia, and you can't forget Ronda Rousey. If she enters, that would be a shock, and getting a one-on-one match with Becky and Ronda would be pretty damn good too. But if I have to pick just going off of who's confirmed, I would pick Charlotte. Men's side, McIntyre is my pick. Kane is going to be the one to eliminate Brock. If a SmackDown superstar wins, it is going to be Roman Reigns. I don't even have like a surprise winner because I just given the people that are there, I don't think there's anyone big enough just yet, momentum wise. Jeez, even in YouTube videos, I can't remember to plug up my headset. Terrible fitting. Um, but I was saying before my thought got interrupted by that beep, there is no one currently in that on the list of men superstars that I could see challenging for a championship right now. I can be surprised. There have been surprises before. Given the 26 that are listed though, no. And I'm saying that 27 is going to be Kane. That means there's three other spots, maybe for a surprise or two, maybe for some NXT stars. Tommaso Gargano, he was in it last year. Someone from the Undisputed Era, like maybe Roderick Strong, since he doesn't have a title. Maybe a Matt Riddle. Don't know. We'll see what they do. Um, yeah. So we'll definitely talk about this on stream. But hey, if you want to talk about it in the comments, comment below. Who do you think you win? Is there anyone that you're really looking for? Is there a match you're really looking forward to? Is there a superstar that you think that I not giving credit to that's gonna win a match? Maybe one of the women's titles gets dropped. Maybe Daniel Bryan does find a way to conquer the Fiend. Maybe there's someone else that wins the Rumble. Maybe a Rey Mysterio. Maybe an Orton. Maybe this is time for Mandy Rose to take off. I don't know. Maybe a returning woman that I haven't thought about that you think. So let me know in the comments. We'll definitely talk about it on stream. Otherwise, enjoy the Royal Rumble. Enjoy. What I hope is going to be a great pay-per-view. The one thing I don't like sometimes about the pay-per-views is that they're extremely long. And it's going to, their kickoff show, I believe, is 2 hours. The pay-per-view itself, you're looking at 4-ish hours. Eh, Royal Rumble's fun, though. I like it. I'm always looking forward to seeing who comes out next. Yep, we will talk about this on stream. I'll come up with a video talking about what I thought of the Rumble after. It'll definitely be shorter than this. Don't want to get in the habit of having super long videos on YouTube, but wrestling sometimes I can just keep going and going because it's the thing. As much as I love video games, my love for wrestling easily, easily conquers video games. So I will chat with you guys later. Like I said, enjoy the Rumble, and hopefully it is a good show.